Okay, we're doing this holding the phone in my hand, so excuse if it starts to shake and stuff. I've been trying to get a video done about Diane Abbott over in the UK. Diane Abbott is an MP, as a Minister of Parliament. So imagine like, a senator in the US, she's an MP in the UK. Now, she was she used to be part of the Labour Party, which is the UK's equivalent of the Democrats. She used to be part of the Labour Party, but the problem was that she kept on speaking up about racism that she was facing as an MP. She kept doing it, kept doing it. People are getting tired of hearing about it, but she kept on doing it anyway. At the same time, people kept on being racist, so it's not like as though she's just making stuff up. Like, this is stuff that needs to be dealt with. I'm not going to deal with it in this conversation. So fast forward, she speaks about how Jewish people and Irish people do not have to deal with racism on a day-to-day basis, as black people do. So they call that anti-Semitic, which I think is ridiculous because there are many Jewish people, like Dave Smith, for example, the comedian Dave Smith, who goes out there. No one knows this man is actually Jewish. People like Paul Rudd. No one thought Ant-Man was Jewish. But so there's people who are out there as Irish people, as Jewish people, without experiencing any kind of racism, quote unquote. I think racism is the wrong word, but that's a whole other story. Let me not go on a tangent. Let's stick to the story. So people can go ahead and be Irish and be Jewish without setting off any other weirdos being racist towards them. That was her point, and people still say she was anti-Semitic. But you see, the thing is, just like Sasha Johnson, I'll put a link to the Sasha Johnson video above. I can't remember which side it goes. But just like with Sasha Johnson, she was speaking about racism and the need for equality. And so what someone did was put out a fake tweet, open up a fake account in her name, and put out a tweet saying that actually what she wants is to enslave white people, which caused a big brouhaha. Everyone was like, oh my God, she's a racist. And even though she said it's not me, no one listened. Even people knew it wasn't her, and still this was the thing that was coming out in the mainstream media. When she got shot, people were blaming a whole heap of, using racial tropes to blame black people for it. Oh, it's some gang violence. Oh, it's a drug deal gone wrong, and all this other nonsense. So it's like they take the pain you're giving them, they take it and they try and return it back to you twice fold. Anyway, back to Diane Abbott. So Diane Abbott, who is like the first black female MP in Great Britain, and the longest serving female MP as well. Well, of course, longest serving black MP, I believe it is, in the country. Like, she's a real rider. And whenever she experiences the hypocrisy of racism in a country that speaks to being beyond that, oh, aren't we clever? We stopped slavery that we started, and we are a multicultural society. So she would say, look, you talk all this nice talk, but actually you're a bunch of racists. So that's what she does. Fast forward now, one of the biggest, actually, I think he's either the or one of the biggest donors for the Conservative Party, which is the UK's answer to the Americans, Republicans, one of their biggest donors. His name is Frank Hester. He went out in public and said, seeing this woman Diane Abbott on TV makes me want to hate all black women. Makes me want to hate all black women. And somebody should take a gun and shoot that woman. Now, what I know is in America is that up until recent times, people have tried to kind of put racism to the side and say it's only those rednecks who are doing the racism. It's only those weird Ku Klux Klan people doing it. But this man, Frank Hester, is one of, if not the biggest donor for the Republican / Conservative Party. He's not no, white trash. He's well respected within the upper echelons of the UK. And this is how he's speaking about a member of parliament. Now, Diane Abbott goes to the police and says that she's feeling unsafe now because where she lives in Hackney, she doesn't even have a car. She doesn't even have a car. She doesn't have staff driving her around. She's one of the people. So she goes out and does her grocery shopping on the weekend. She walks to her friend's house. She jumps on the bus, jumps on the underground. She's just living a normal, everyday life. But now this man has painted a target on his back. I never realized how powerful words are off of this social media thing and TV in general until I met people who was telling me, yeah, because of your video, I decided to bring myself and my family over to Gambia. That shocked me. And that's just me. I'm like, just a bloke on the phone. This man is a millionaire. His business is in healthcare tech. So tech to deal with the healthcare industry. And he's saying he wants somebody. No, what are you saying? Words to the effect of somebody should shoot that woman. So the police never never figured out this is incitement to violence. Even though that is clearly against the law. They were calling this woman, Diane Abbott, anti-Semitic, simply because she said that Jewish people don't have to deal with racism on a daily basis. Like, they will make up laws to punish you if you do not go in line with what they want. But when it comes to black women, it comes to black people in general, but for black women especially, as Malcolm X said, the black woman is the most neglected, most unprotected. So he was very clear. And it is very clear this is happening over in the UK as well. So both for Sasha Johnson and for Diane Abbott is and actually more. You could be an MP. Like, you're supposed to be one of the most protected people in the country. You could be a black woman MP in England. You could be an equal opportunities advocate in the UK. You could be a black woman living her best life over in Africa. You could be a black woman in the United States just driving a car. You can be a black woman in the United States lying down sleeping and you are still unprotected and neglected. It's still happening. The most expensive thing on planet Earth is white women's tears. The tears of white women. Because a white woman can go Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. This black skinned man, he looked at me funny, and now I feel scared. Because a woman is protected, that man will get strung up by his neck, and the whole town burnt down. People having to leave, run for their life. Because of some crocodile tears that this woman has spoken about. He could be young, he could be totally like harmless. It could even be completely fabricated, and yet that's what goes on. They're that protected. Black women should be just as protected. They don't have as much agency. Let me move this camera down a bit. I'm doing this. They don't have as much agency as we as black men have. Like, just for the sake of our physical presence means people think twice before messing with you. They don't have that agency. They certainly don't have the same agency as a white female. And maybe we can't get them to that because we don't have the same power as white males. But this unprotected, neglected stuff can't go on. So we need to protect our black sisters, regardless of where they are and what they're doing. Now, this man, Frank Hester, let me go back to Frank Hester. Frank Hester, as I said, he's in the healthcare industry. Now, the healthcare industry, I don't know what it's like in your country, but in the UK, it's rammed full of black women. Full of them. All the nurses, the doctors, the oncologists, everybody, it's like everyone. So many of them is run by black women. I'm sure it's the same in the United States. But the one there who's getting the hundreds of millions of pounds from the government to ensure that people can work, hates them. He says that this black woman makes him want to hate them. It doesn't make sense. Jeez Louise. You brothers who have knowledge of law in the UK. I'm not talking about, I've got a CIC, I can I have some friends. I mean, people who are thorough in law. Sue this Frank Hester dude, please, because what he's doing was against the law. He gave £10 million to. He handed back £10 million of the 100 odd million pounds that the government had sent his business. He donated 100. He donated 10 back to the government. Just under $13,000. Pardon me. He donated back just under $13 million to the UK government. The UK government said, yeah, we've got to keep hold of that money. We can't give that back. It's taken the Prime Minister a long time to even acknowledge that he even said the words. He was up there and he said, well, the alleged words. He was like, he apologized. Why are we talking about it? Like, he was proper trying to, like, brush his stuff under the carpet. Indian man. Like, just like, what's that fool's name? Just like Mahatma Gandhi. Him. He was talking about, how the British shouldn't be ruling over the Indians. But at the same time, he'll call people with my skin color. He'll see them as less than him. He'll call them scum because of their skin color. Actual black people, they had no time for us. And so I'm not surprised that the Prime Minister of Great Britain has the same mindset where he's like, racism? What racism? I don't know what you're talking about. So we got to be careful of these people. Watch these people, man. And if you are in law, sue this man because he was going to give 10 million back to the government. The government do not want to give the money back. What the government should have done is taken that 10 million and spent it with black organizations who impact the lives of black women, like black doulas, black health care professionals, girls to women, advocates who look after young girls growing up and so on and so forth. Anything around black women. That's what they should have done. But you know what? They ain't gonna do it because they don't want to, because they don't see us as important enough. The only ones who could see black women as important enough is people who look like me, black men. You lot, you're the only ones who can protect these people. And that's what I'm asking for. This is your brother Marley. And until next time, peace.